Hi there. Thanks for being here. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're giving it your all, but you're still not getting ahead? Like everyone else seems to be moving forward while you're standing still. It's not your fault. These days, success isn't just about luck or talent. There's one powerful skill that makes the difference: the ability to keep learning, keep improving, and stay focused. In this video, I'll walk you through how to build that skill step by step using clear and simple English. This is the secret that the top 1% use, and the best part is you can do it too. So stick around until the end. It might just change the way you see everything. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like you're doing your best, but still falling behind? Chapter 1. Why learning fast is your superpower. I used to believe that smart people were simply born that way. Some people just seemed lucky they could learn, quickly speak with ease, understand everything, and succeed in life. I didn't think I was one of them. I felt slow. I kept forgetting things. I often felt stuck. But over time, I discovered something that completely changed how I saw myself and others. I learned that the most powerful ability in life isn't talent. It's not luck, money, beauty, or even knowing the right people. The true secret is this: the ability to learn quickly and to keep learning every single day. That's what separates the top 1% from the rest. They aren't superheroes. They're not born different. They're just excellent learners. And here's the truth: you can become one of them too. Even if you feel behind, even if English feels difficult, even if your life feels slow right now, you can grow. You can improve. And the best part, you can start today. When I first began learning English, I struggled a lot. I couldn't remember the words. Sentences confused me. When someone spoke fast, my mind froze. It felt like I was drowning in a sea of sounds I didn't understand. I'd try listening to a podcast, but 5 minutes later, I'd forget everything. I started thinking maybe my brain just wasn't made for English. Maybe I was too old. Maybe it was too late. But deep down, I still had a little bit of hope. I told myself, what if there's another way? What if this isn't about being smart, but about being consistent? What if I can train my brain just like a muscle? That's when everything began to change. I discovered something important. Learning is not magic, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be built slowly, step by step. I started reading just 10 minutes a day. Nothing big, just a few pages. I chose easy books with short sentences. I read slowly. I read out loud. I didn't worry if I didn't understand everything. I just kept going. After 1 week, I noticed something. My brain started to remember more words. I could guess meanings. After 2 weeks, I was speaking short sentences. After a month, I was no longer afraid to speak in front of people. Not perfectly, but better. That's when I realized the faster you learn, the more doors open for you. The world begins to shift in your favor. I saw my friends struggling too. They were smart, but they didn't learn every day. They waited for motivation. They waited for the perfect time. But those who grow fast don't wait. They act. They learn even when tired. They take small steps every day. That's the real difference. It's not about talent. It's about consistency. The person who reads a little each day, who listens carefully, who speaks even with mistakes, that person is the one who wins. That's the person who becomes the top 1%. Now, I want to pass this truth on to you. If you're learning English or anything else in life, always remember, learning fast isn't about rushing. It's about showing up daily. It's about focusing while others are distracted. It's about saying, I won't give up. I will grow even if it's slow. Even if no one notices me now, someday they will. And one day someone will ask, how did you get so good? And you'll smile because you'll know the truth. You didn't wait for motivation. You created it. You didn't quit when it was hard. You stayed. That's what gives you real power. So if you feel like others are moving ahead while you're falling behind, don't give up. Don't compare. Just focus on learning one small thing today. A new word, a sentence, a page, and tomorrow do it again. That's the secret. That's the way. I believe in you. If I could do it, so can you. You don't have to be perfect, just keep going. The power is already in your hands. Chapter 2. The moment you stop learning, you start losing. Let me tell you something important. It's something I wish someone had told me when I was younger. The world moves fast. Every single day, new ideas are born. New technology is created. New words are added. Everything keeps changing. But here's the truth. Most people stop learning after school. They get a job. They fall into the same daily routine. Work, eat, sleep. Repeat. At first, it feels okay. Nothing seems wrong. But slowly, the world starts moving ahead, and they stay in the same place. People who continue learning move forward. People who stop learning slowly begin to fall behind. I saw this happen to someone I knew. He was smart, kind, and worked hard. After school, he found a job and settled into life. But he stopped growing. He didn't read. He didn't listen to new ideas. He never tried to learn new things. At first, he was fine. But over time, things changed. His job started using new tools, new methods, new words, and he didn't understand them. He got confused. He tried to keep up, but it was hard. He asked, "Why is this so difficult now?" The answer was simple. He had stopped learning, and the world didn't wait. I made a promise to myself, I will never stop learning, even if it's slow, even if no one asks me to, even if it's hard. Because now I know the moment you stop learning, you start losing. Not all at once, but slowly, quietly. The world won't shout when you fall behind. It just moves forward without you. One day you wake up and feel stuck, left out, unsure. And that feeling is painful. But there is a way out, and that way is learning. Not going back to school. Just staying curious, asking questions, reading one page, watching one video, writing one sentence, speaking one phrase. These small steps keep your brain alive. They keep your future open. When I began learning English every day, even just 15 minutes, I felt different. My mind felt sharp. I noticed more. I remembered more. I understood better. It didn't happen in one day, but over time, everything changed. People often ask me, how do I stay motivated? I tell them. The best motivation is seeing your progress. When you realize you're better today than yesterday, even just a little, it makes you want to keep going. I remember the first time I understood an English sentence without needing to translate it. That tiny moment made me so happy. It gave me energy to keep learning. That's what small wins do, they carry you forward. There are two kinds of people in this world. One says, I'm done learning. The other says, I'll learn something new today. One gets stuck. The other grows stronger. The choice is yours. I still remember a day when I was tired and wanted to quit. My brain said, just rest. Skip today. But then I remembered how it felt to fall behind. I remembered the silence when I didn't understand anything. I remembered feeling small. That memory gave me strength. So I picked up my book. I played the video. I practiced. That small action kept me moving. You don't need to learn everything at once. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to keep going, even when it's quiet, even when it's slow, even when you're alone. That's how you grow. That's how you stay ahead. And here's the good news: you've already started. You're here. You're reading this. You're trying. That puts you ahead of most people already. So don't stop. Keep going. Keep learning. Because every time you do, the world opens just a little more. And one day you'll realize you're not stuck anymore. You're rising. Chapter 3: The 1% Secret. They learn when no one is watching. There's something powerful that most people never see. Something quiet. It doesn't happen in classrooms. It doesn't happen during big speeches or in front of crowds. It happens in silence, in small moments when no one is looking. That is the secret of people who grow fast, stay strong, and never fall behind. They learn when no one is watching. These people don't wait for teachers or classes. They don't wait for tests or rewards. They don't need someone to clap for them. They push themselves. They sit alone with a book. They listen to English while walking to work. They write sentences in a notebook late at night. They repeat words to themselves in the mirror. Nobody sees them. But that's exactly where the real change begins. When I started learning English, I used to think I needed someone to teach me. I believed I couldn't improve without a lesson, a teacher, or a class. But then I noticed something. The best learners I knew, the ones who spoke clearly and improved quickly, were doing something very different. They were learning in small ways all the time. On the bus, at lunch, before bed. Quiet, consistent learning. One day, I asked one of them, "How do you speak English so well?" She smiled and said, "I practice when I'm alone." Just that every day. That simple answer changed everything for me. I started to do the same. I would walk and talk to myself in English. I imagined small conversations in my mind. I sat quietly with a notebook and wrote down what I remembered. At first, it felt strange. I thought, why am I doing this? No one is watching. No one even knows. But that was the point. That is the secret. It's what makes you part of the 1%, the people who grow without being told, to the ones who get better in silence. Most people want to improve, but they wait. They wait for the perfect class, the perfect time, the perfect partner. They say, "I'll study when I have help." But the truth is, the most powerful kind of learning is what you do alone. That's when your brain works the hardest. That's when your confidence quietly grows. It's not when someone is checking your work. It's when it's just you and your choice to keep going. I remember one night I was sitting in my room. I had no class, no teacher, no homework. I had time. I could have watched a show or gone to sleep. But something small inside me whispered, "Just read one page." So I did. I read it slowly out loud. I listened to my own voice. I fixed a word here and there. And suddenly I was learning alone in peace and silence. That night I felt proud. No one knew what I had done, but I knew, and that was enough. This is the truth about the top 1%, the people who keep moving forward. They don't always do big things. They do small things again and again. They read while others scroll. They listen while others rest. They practice while others wait. And that's why they grow, not because they're lucky, not because they're special, but because they made one small decision to learn when no one else does. You can make that same choice right now, today. You can take one sentence and say it out loud. You can write down one word. You can listen to a short story and repeat it. You don't need applause. You don't need permission. Just you, and that is enough. That's how real strength is built. That's how champions are made. It might feel slow. It might feel small. But these moments matter. These moments when no one is watching are the ones that lead to the biggest change. One day you'll look back and realize how far you've come, and you'll know that the most powerful lessons were the ones you learned alone. So if you're studying quietly, keep going. If no one claps for your effort, don't stop. If no one understands what you're doing, that's okay. You understand, and that is enough. Keep learning when no one is watching. That is the secret of the 1%. And now it can be your secret too. Chapter 4. Build the daily learning habit. Even if you hate studying, I want to be honest with you. I never liked studying, not when I was young. The word study made me feel bored, tired, and sometimes even scared. I thought studying meant sitting at a desk for hours, reading books I didn't understand. I thought it meant working hard with no fun, no meaning, and no help, so I avoided it. I waited for motivation, but it never came. Not on most days. That's when I learned something that changed my life. You don't have to love studying. You just need to make learning a small part of your day. Just a little part. Not big. Not perfect. Just something. That's how real habits begin. That's how learning, especially English, gets easier. When I began learning English, I chose to do things differently. No stress, no pressure. I gave myself one small goal, 10 minutes. I said, today I'll listen to English for just 10 minutes. I played a simple podcast. I didn't understand everything, but I listened. I didn't pause. I didn't use a dictionary. I just let the sounds come to me. After 10 minutes, I stopped, and that was it. No test, no rules. But inside, I felt proud. I had done something small for my brain. One small win. The next day, I did it again. Another 10 minutes. This time I understood a few more words. A phrase repeated. I started to remember it. I didn't know it then, but I was creating a habit. A soft, gentle habit. Something that didn't feel like studying. It felt like living, like exploring, like enjoying something new. And over time, this tiny 10-minute habit changed everything. It gave me courage to read more, to write more, to speak out loud. Not all at once, not perfectly, just step by step. So if you hate studying, I want you to know you're not lazy. You're not weak. You just need a new way to learn. A soft way, a kind way, not the stressful school way. Your brain doesn't like pressure. It likes stories. It likes simple patterns. It likes to feel progress, even if that progress is tiny. One word, one phrase, one thought. Maybe today you're tired. Maybe life is loud work, family stress. That's okay. You don't need to study for 1 hour. You don't need to do 50 new words. Just one small thing, one short paragraph, one video, one sentence out loud. That's enough. Really. That's more than enough. Because when you do that, every day it becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your strength. I found that the best time to learn is not when life is perfect. It's when I'm tired but still try. When I'm bored but still listen. When I'm scared but still speak. Those little moments are where confidence is built. That's where English becomes your own. So find a soft corner in your day. After breakfast, before bed, during your walk, while drinking tea. Choose a time that feels quiet and calm. Keep it short. Keep it simple. Don't worry about speed. Don't try to be the smartest. Just build the habit day by day, word by word. You don't need pressure. You don't need a big plan. All you need is one small moment, one choice, one voice inside you that says, yes, I will grow today. Even just a little. That is enough. That is powerful. And that is what I want for you, a daily, gentle habit of learning. A habit that stays, a habit that grows, a habit that gives you strength and peace and power. Quiet power. The kind that changes your life. Chapter 5. Your mind is not fixed. It can grow every day. For a long time, I believed something that held me back. I thought my brain was broken. I told myself I just wasn't good at languages. I looked at other people and said, they are smart. I'm not. No matter how much I studied, I still forgot words. I still made mistakes. I still couldn't speak the way I wanted. And every time I failed, I would whisper to myself, see, I can't do this. That sentence lived in my mind for years. I can't do this. But one day I read something that changed everything. It was just one short sentence. You can't do this yet. That little word yet gave me hope. It told me my brain wasn't stuck. It wasn't broken. It was just in the middle of growing. And with time, I could improve. Step by step. Day by day. That idea was new to me. In school, people often get labeled. Some are called smart. Some are not. Some are fast learners. Some are slow. And I was always told I was on the slow side. But what no one told me was this: the brain is like a plant. It grows when you give it water, sunlight, and time. And when you practice something every day, your brain builds new connections. It gets stronger. Not through magic, through action. When I learned this, I stopped saying, I'm not good at English. I started saying, I'm learning English. That small change made a big difference. And you can do the same. When you say, I can't remember words, pause and say, I'm still learning to remember words. When you think, I'm afraid to speak, change it to, I'm learning to speak with confidence. These small shifts in your language can reshape your future, because the words you say to yourself every day become your truth. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. So plant them carefully. I remember once I tried to read a simple English story. It was supposed to be easy, but I didn't understand half of it. I felt frustrated. I wanted to quit. But I said to myself, I don't get it yet. And I read it again the next day. And again the day after that. By the 5th day, I understood more. Not perfectly, but definitely better than before. That one word yet gave me patience. It gave me strength. It gave me peace. Your brain listens to you. It believes what you tell it. So be kind. Be patient. Talk to yourself like a close friend. Don't say I'm bad at listening. Say I'm learning to listen better every day. Don't say I can't pronounce words. Say my pronunciation is getting better. These gentle words don't just make you feel better, they help you learn better. This is called a growth mindset. It means you believe your brain can grow not overnight, not easily, but with steady effort. A fixed mindset says, this is just who I am. I can't change. A growth mindset says, this is where I am, and I'm still moving forward. And that mindset is your true power. If today you feel stuck, if you feel slow, if you feel like you're not improving, please don't give up. You're not stuck. You're growing. You may not see it clearly yet, but growth is happening. Every time you listen, every time you read, every time you try, you are building your brain. You are becoming stronger, smarter, more confident. And this is the truth I want you to hold close. Your mind is not fixed. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are just beginning. This is your start, not your end. The road is long, yes, but it is beautiful. You're allowed to grow at your own pace. and I am proud of you for choosing to stay on this path. Chapter 6. Reading will change your brain and your life. I still remember the first English book I ever finished. It was small. The words were simple. The story was about a little boy and his dog. Nothing fancy. But when I turned the last page, I felt something big inside me. I had finished a book in English. Me. The same person who once thought English was impossible. The person who looked at English words and felt lost. Now I had read a full story, from start to finish, and though no one was there to see it, I smiled, because inside I knew I had done something special. My mind felt different, and honestly, my life did too. Reading is not just about understanding words, it's about opening doors. Each book you read is like a key. It unlocks new ideas, new feelings, new ways of thinking. When I started reading in English, I could feel my brain shifting. At first, it was hard. My eyes moved slowly. I didn't get every sentence. My head hurt. But I kept going, sentence by sentence, page by page. And then, little by little, things changed. Reading helped me in ways school never could. It gave me more than grammar rules or vocabulary lists. It gave me meaning. I didn't just learn the word lonely, I felt it when I read about a girl who had no friends. I didn't just learn the word brave, I saw it in the story of a boy who protected his family. These weren't just new words. They became real emotions. I could feel them in my heart. And that is the magic of reading. You don't just study English, you start to live it. If you're learning English, begin with small books. Don't wait until you're ready to read a big novel. Start now with picture books, children's stories, or simple texts. Even 1 page a day is enough to start a habit. When I started, I read for just 5 minutes each day. That small step changed my brain. My eyes began to notice patterns. My memory improved. I started repeating phrases I had seen. My confidence grew. Reading also made speaking easier. When I saw a sentence many times, I naturally began to say it out loud. Simple ones like, I am happy today, or it is a beautiful day. These short sentences became part of me. And once they lived inside me, speaking became less scary. Books filled my mind with ready-made phrases. So when it was time to speak, my brain already had something to say. Reading also gave me peace. On days when I felt sad, tired, or stressed, I would open a book. The words made me feel calm. The stories reminded me that I wasn't alone. I read about characters who were scared too, who made mistakes, who kept going. And in their stories, I saw my own. That is the gift of reading. It connects people across countries, across languages, across time. One day, I realized something important. Reading wasn't just helping my English, it was helping my life. I was learning how to think, how to imagine, how to feel deeply. These are things no grammar rule can teach you. Only stories can. Only books can grow your inner world. So today I want to remind you, reading can change your brain. It can change your future. It can even change who you are. Don't worry about speed. Don't worry about understanding every word. Just start. Pick one book, one story, one page. Read slowly. Read again. Let the words sit in your heart. Let your mind grow quietly, gently. You're not just learning English. You're building a new world for yourself, word by word, line by line, page by page. And the more you read, the more you rise. Chapter 7. Fiction and Nonfiction. 2. Powerful ways to grow. When I first started reading in English, I didn't know that there were two different kinds of books. I just picked anything that seemed simple. But the more I read, the more I noticed a clear difference. Some books told stories about people, places, emotions, and adventures. These books made me feel something. They took me to other worlds. These were fiction books. Other books didn't tell stories. They gave advice, shared ideas, or explained how to do something. They spoke directly to my brain and taught me things I could use in real life. These were non-fiction books, and both types helped me grow in powerful but different ways. Fiction was the first kind I loved. I remember reading a story about a little boy who got lost in the forest. He was afraid. He missed his mother. He tried to find his way back home. As I turned the pages, I didn't just learn words, I felt his fear, his sadness, and his tiny bit of hope. I was right there with him in the forest. My heart followed him through every step. That's the magic of fiction. It grows your heart. It stretches your imagination. It helps you feel what others feel. You live someone else's life just for a moment, and that changes you. Slowly, deeply. Fiction also helped me speak better. Why? Because it gave me real English, the kind people actually use every day. Not textbook sentences, but natural emotional language. In stories, people say things like, "I don't know," or "That's not fair," or "Are you okay?" These are phrases we use all the time, and because they come with feelings, they stick in your mind. You remember them not like vocabulary, but like memories. Then I discovered nonfiction. At first, I didn't like it. Nonfiction doesn't always have stories. It explains things. It gives steps and advice. But I began with easy self-help books, just one page a day. And something surprising happened. Nonfiction gave me tools. It taught me how to focus, how to stay motivated, how to use my time better. It gave me ideas that changed my actions. Slowly, I started to build better habits. I started to think differently. Fiction grows your heart. Nonfiction grows your mind. Together, they make you strong. You become someone who feels deeply and thinks clearly. Someone who understands emotions and ideas. Someone who connects with people and also understands yourself. That is the real power of reading both. So how do you start? If you're feeling sad, tired, or lost, choose fiction. Let a story comfort your heart. Let it take you to a different place. If you're feeling ready to change, curious, or full of energy, choose nonfiction. Let it teach you something new. Let it guide your next step. Both are helpful. Both are necessary. There is no wrong choice. If you're new to reading in English, here's my suggestion. Try a little of both. One small story in the morning fiction. One small page of advice in the evening nonfiction. Maybe something about learning habits or building confidence. This balance helps your English and your life. I remember one week clearly. I read a short story about a lonely bird who couldn't fly. It made me cry. That was fiction. And later that week, I read a chapter about how small habits can lead to big success. It made me think. That was nonfiction. I grew emotionally and mentally in the same week. You don't need to read big books. You don't need to finish fast. Just read one page. Feel it. Think about it. Let it change you even just a little. That's how real growth begins quietly, gently, deeply. So now you know the secret. 2 types of books. 2 ways to grow. Choose both. Let fiction grow your heart. Let nonfiction grow your mind. And let English grow your whole world. Chapter 8. Focus your new superpower in a distracted world. Today it's easy to feel lost. Your phone buzzes. A message pops up. You check one app, then another. Before you realize it, an hour is gone. You planned to study English. You wanted to read a book or listen to a podcast. But now it's too late. You feel tired. You feel disappointed. You ask yourself, why can't I focus? And then comes the guilt. I know this feeling. I lived it for years. Every day I told myself I would study, and every day distractions won. Until one day I realized something that changed everything. In today's noisy world, focus is a superpower. I didn't have to be the smartest person. I didn't have to study for 5 hours. But if I could focus for just 10 minutes, I could grow. I could learn. I could move forward. So I stopped trying to be perfect. I started trying to be present. Not hours of work. Just one thing at a time. One video. One page. One sentence. That's it. And slowly my life started to shift. Not because I had more time, but because I protected a little time. I made a space for learning. I built a small wall around my focus. That wall became my strength. Distractions will always be around. That's reality. There will always be another video, another scroll, another thing to check. So don't wait for the world to be quiet. Instead, create a quiet moment inside yourself. Start with just 5 minutes. Set a timer, turn off your phone, close other apps, take your book, your podcast, or your flashcards and give them full attention. 5 minutes of real focus is better than 1 hour of half focus. That small, clear moment. That's where learning begins. At first, I couldn't even focus for 5 minutes. My mind wandered. My fingers reached for my phone, but I didn't quit. I forgave myself. I tried again. I reminded myself, this is a skill. I can train it. I treated focus like a muscle. Weak at first, but stronger every day. And it worked. First 5 minutes, then 10, then 20. Now when I study English, I feel calm. I feel strong because I am present. I am focused. And that feels good. You don't need hours to learn. You need moments of true attention. No noise. No jumping from app to app. No checking your phone every 2 minutes. The real problem isn't time. It's broken, scattered time. Time without focus. Fix that, and you'll grow faster than you imagine. That's the power of focus. It makes small efforts feel big. It makes short time feel deep. Sometimes I light a candle. I take a deep breath and say, this is my study time. I don't rush. I don't chase. I just sit, read, or listen with full heart and full mind. And for those 10-15 minutes, I feel alive. And I want you to feel that too. Maybe you live in a noisy house. Maybe you work all day. It's okay. You don't need perfect silence. You just need a small promise to yourself to focus even for a moment. 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes before bed, one short session during lunch. That's enough. You can do more later, but start small. Start focused. Start gently. In just 1 week, you'll see the change. You'll remember more. You'll understand better. You'll feel proud, not because you did everything, but because you did one thing well. And that is enough. So today, I give you a gift, the gift of focus. It's already inside you. You just need to protect it, train it, and use it every day. Like your own secret power. Chapter 9. Consistency is stronger than motivation. Let me share a simple truth with you. Motivation is like the sun. It rises, shines brightly, fills you with energy, and then disappears. After it fades, you're left in the dark again. You feel lost. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. But often that tomorrow never comes. I used to wait for motivation every day. I thought I had to feel ready before I could begin. Some days I felt powerful. I studied English for a full hour. I felt proud of myself. But the next day, I was tired. I didn't feel that same energy. I skipped my practice. And that one skipped day turned into 3, then 5, then a whole week. My progress stopped. My confidence fell apart. And once again, I had to start from the beginning. Over and over, I repeated this pattern. Then one day, I read something that changed my life forever. Don't wait for motivation. Trust consistency. At first, I didn't really understand. But then I looked at my own life. I realized that my real growth didn't happen on the days when I felt excited. It happened on the quiet days, the days when I showed up, even when I didn't want to. The days when I studied for just 10 minutes. The days when I whispered English sentences while doing the dishes. The nights when I read one small page, even with tired eyes. Those small moments changed me not loudly, but deeply and quietly. They stayed with me. You see, motivation is a feeling. Feelings come and go. They are like waves. But consistency is not a feeling. It is a choice, a decision, a quiet promise you make to yourself. It's not about doing big things. It's about doing something small every day. That's how I became fluent in English. Not with perfect schedules or long study sessions, but with daily effort, simple, steady, and real. Maybe today you don't feel like learning. That's okay. Just do one thing. One flashcard, one sentence, one short voice note. That one small action keeps your learning alive. It tells your brain, I'm still here. I'm still trying. It keeps your dream close to your heart. And when you repeat that action tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, it becomes something powerful. It becomes part of you. It becomes who you are. I remember a week when I felt really low. I had no energy. I didn't want to do anything. But I still played a short English video every day while brushing my teeth. Just 2 minutes. That's it. But that small act reminded me I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And that reminder saved me. This is the quiet magic of consistency. It holds your identity steady even when your energy is weak. Most people think big changes come from big actions, but they don't. Growth comes from steady steps, from showing up again and again. Just say, I'll do 5 minutes today, and then do it every day. That is how confidence is built. That is how fluency is born. Not in noise, but in silent practice. So stop chasing motivation. Yes, it's beautiful, but it disappears fast. Instead, become someone who shows up no matter what. Whether it rains or shines, whether you feel strong or tired, whether your voice is clear or unsure, keep showing up. Like a slow river, like the rising sun, like someone who believes. Because in the end, consistency will take you farther than motivation ever could. Motivation burns quickly. Consistency burns forever. Chapter 10. Self-discipline. The soft power that builds everything. When people hear the word discipline, they often think of something hard or strict. Maybe they imagine rules, pressure, or punishment. I used to think the same. I believed discipline meant being serious all the time, being perfect, and never making mistakes. But I was wrong. Real discipline, the kind that transforms your life, is not cold or harsh. It's not angry or loud. It's soft. It's quiet. It's a gentle power that grows inside you day by day like a small, steady light. I discovered this while trying to study English regularly. At first, I depended on motivation. On some days, I felt inspired and worked hard. On other days, I felt lazy and skipped everything. I had no system. My emotions decided what I did. So my progress was slow and inconsistent. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Then one day, I asked myself, what if I try a small routine, not a big plan, not perfect study hours, just a simple daily habit? That's when I began to understand what self-discipline really means. It's not about forcing yourself. It's about protecting your dream. It's about loving your goal enough to take care of it. I love the dream of speaking English freely. I wanted to talk to people from around the world. I wanted to read books, understand movies, and travel with confidence. That love gave me strength. So I started showing up even when I didn't feel like it. Not because I was strong, but because I was kind to my dream. That's what discipline really is. Kindness to your future self. Every night before bed, I listened to a short English story. Sometimes I was tired. Sometimes I didn't understand every word. But I still pressed play. I still listened. I still repeated. It became my routine. It was small, but it was mine, and it gave me peace. I felt proud because I was keeping my promise to myself. And each time I did, my belief in myself grew stronger. You see, self-discipline is like water. It doesn't crash or destroy. It shapes you slowly, gently, beautifully. It turns fear into strength. It turns confusion into clarity. It turns I can't into I'm growing. You don't need to study for hours. You just need to come back again and again. 5 minutes, 10 words, 1 paragraph, that's enough. Because when you return, you build trust with yourself. Some people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect schedule, but that moment never comes. Discipline teaches you this truth. Don't wait. Start now. Start small. Start tired. Start unsure. But start. That's your power. Not the size of your step, but the heart behind it. And here's another truth. At first, discipline feels hard, but over time it gives you peace. It removes stress. It ends the fight inside your mind. You no longer waste time deciding what to do. You just begin. And that kind of peace, the peace of doing what matters, is a beautiful feeling. So if you feel weak today, that's okay. Self-discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you build. Slowly, gently, like a soft house made of small bricks. And one day, that house becomes your home, a place where you can learn, grow, and feel safe. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up with love, with patience, with faith. That is the soft power of discipline. It will build your confidence. It will build your English. And over time, it will build your new life. Chapter 11. Failures are lessons, not the end. One day I stood up in my English class. The teacher asked me to read a short sentence. My hands were shaking. My voice was small. I tried to read, but I said the words wrong. Everyone heard it. I felt embarrassed. I wanted to sit down and never speak again. In that moment, I thought, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I'm not smart enough. That day, I felt like a failure. But now, when I look back, I see that moment differently. That day was not the end. It was a beginning, a moment of courage, a small but real step forward. Because even though I made a mistake, I stood up. I tried. I showed up. That is the start of growth. We all fail. We all make mistakes. It's a natural part of learning. If you never fail, it means you're not trying hard enough. If you never make mistakes, it means you're not stepping outside your comfort zone. Mistakes aren't bad. They are signs that you're learning something new. Every time you try, even if you don't succeed, you become a little stronger. Every failure teaches your brain. Every fall grows your heart. Every mistake wakes up your courage. But sadly, many people don't see mistakes that way. They make one error and stop trying. They feel ashamed. They think they're slow or not smart enough. They believe others are learning faster. They compare and feel smaller. But that belief is false. Even the best speakers make mistakes. Even the smartest students forget things. Even the strongest minds fall down. The difference is simple. They don't stay down. They get back up. They try again and again and again. I made many mistakes learning English. I said the wrong words. I used the wrong grammar. I forgot how to answer basic questions. I felt silly. I felt embarrassed. But I didn't give up. I kept going. I reminded myself, this is normal. This is learning. Instead of hiding from my mistakes, I began asking, what can I learn from this? Slowly, my fear became smaller. My shame turned into power because I realized something important. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the road to success. That truth changed everything for me. I began to feel proud of my mistakes. They showed I was trying. They meant I wasn't giving up. They proved I was alive and learning. I was changing. I was becoming someone new. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Don't hide them. Don't feel bad if you say the wrong word or forget a sentence. Just smile. Learn from it. Try again. That's how we grow. Think about a baby learning to walk. When the baby falls, we don't say, stop trying. No, we cheer. We help them up. We say, try again. We believe in them. That's how you must treat yourself, like a baby learning something new. With love, with patience, with kindness. Every mistake is a gift. It shows you what to work on. It helps you find your weak spots and then grow stronger. Mistake by mistake, you build your future. Fall by fall, you rise higher. So if today you made a mistake in English Good, that means you're working hard. That means you're alive inside. That means you're becoming more. Be proud. Don't stop. Don't run from the hard parts. Keep learning. Keep falling. Keep rising. You are not a failure. You are a learner, a doer, a fighter. And this is just the beginning. Chapter 12. How to keep going when you want to quit. There were so many days when I wanted to quit. Days when everything felt heavy. My brain was tired. My heart felt weak. I opened my English book, looked at the words, and closed it again. I thought to myself, what's the point? I had studied for weeks, for months, but I still couldn't speak the way I wanted. I still made mistakes. I still felt small when talking to native speakers. I looked at other people who were fluent and thought, maybe this isn't for me. I felt like quitting. Maybe you felt this too. Maybe you feel it right now. That feeling when progress feels slow. When you try but the words don't stay in your mind. When you listen but still don't understand. When you speak and no one understands you. You feel like you're failing. You feel alone. And a voice inside starts whispering, quit. This is too hard. You're not good enough. But I want to tell you something very important. Something I wish someone had told me long ago. That voice is not the truth. That voice is fear. That voice is tiredness. That voice is just a cloud. And like all clouds, it will pass. Behind it, you are still there, strong, ready brave. Because here's the truth. Wanting to quit doesn't mean you're weak. It means you are doing something hard, something brave, something new. Only people who challenge themselves feel that pain. People who don't try, they don't feel it. So if you want to quit, it means you're trying. It means you care. And that is beautiful. When I felt like quitting, I started asking myself one question. Can I do one small thing today? Not 1 hour, not a full lesson, just one thing. One English sentence, one short video, one small journal entry. And each time I said yes to that one small thing, something powerful happened. I stayed. I kept going. I moved forward. That's the secret. When you feel stuck, don't try to do everything. Just do one small thing. Even 5 minutes is enough. Because 5 minutes today, 5 minutes tomorrow, 5 more the next day, they add up. They become progress. They become strength. They become momentum. I remember a time when I wanted to give up completely. I had failed a test. I spoke badly in front of others. I felt ashamed. I didn't want to see English again. But someone close to me said something simple. Don't stop. You've come too far. Even slow steps are still steps forward. Those words stayed in my heart. I realized something powerful. I had already started. I had already worked hard. And if I quit now, I would lose all that effort. So I didn't stop. I took a break. I cried. I rested. But I didn't quit. Resting is okay. Taking a break is okay. Feeling tired is okay. Quitting is not. Because deep down, you still want to learn. You still want to speak English. You still dream about confidence. And that dream is alive even if it's quiet today. So breathe, drink water, wipe your tears, and then just do one small thing. That is how you keep going. Remember, no one else can build your English for you. No one else can give you your dream. You must do it. But you can do it. Even if you're scared. Even if you're tired. You can still rise. Every fluent speaker you admire had this moment, this same feeling. The moment they almost gave up. But they didn't. That's why they succeeded. Not because they were perfect. Not because they were lucky. But because they stayed. They continued. And so can you. Today may feel heavy. Tomorrow might too. But one day, you'll look back and say, I almost quit. But I didn't. And that will be one of your proudest memories. Because you didn't give up on your dream. You didn't give up on your voice. And that changes everything. You're still here. You're still learning. And that means your story is not over. So please keep going, especially when you don't feel like it. Because that's when your real power grows. Chapter 13. The 1% rule. Get just 1% better every day. There is a secret to growing in life. It's not something big or loud. In fact, it's very small. And that's why most people ignore it. They believe success must be fast. They think change must be sudden and dramatic. But real change, deep change, doesn't begin with a big moment. It begins with something tiny, like a seed growing underground, like water dripping quietly on a stone, like reading one page, like learning one new English word. This small secret is called the 1% rule. It means you don't need to become great today. You just need to become 1% better than yesterday. When I first heard this idea, I didn't believe it. 1% sounded like nothing. I thought, how can something so small matter? But I was wrong. 1% every day adds up. In 1 year, 1% daily growth becomes 37 times better. That's how powerful it is, because success doesn't come from big actions done once. It comes from small steps repeated again and again. Think about it. If you read just one page in English each day in 1 year, you'll finish 365 pages. That's one or even two books. If you learn just one word a day, you'll know over 300 words after a year enough to speak, write, and understand more than you imagined. If you say just one English sentence aloud daily, you'll speak 365 times more than someone who keeps waiting for the perfect moment. Most people never start because they think small actions don't count. They wait for big ideas, big energy, big plans. But waiting keeps them stuck. They spend time dreaming and planning, but they don't move. The people who do small things every day, they are the ones who change. They grow silently, but powerfully. They follow the 1% rule. When I was learning English, I had many slow days. I didn't study for hours. I didn't finish full lessons, but I always did something small. I listened to a short video. I copied one sentence. I said one word out loud. These tiny steps gave me strength. They gave me confidence. They gave me results. You don't need big moves. You need small, honest, repeatable actions. That's how real skills are built. That's how a new life begins. Imagine a wall made of bricks. Each small brick is one habit. You place one brick every day. Some days it feels boring. Some days it feels too slow. But one day, you look up and see a tall, strong wall that shows your hard work, a wall that protects your growth. The 1% rule also gives you peace. It removes pressure. You don't have to be fluent now. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to grow a little. Just 1% more. That's enough. That's more than enough. Let's say today you read for 5 minutes. You learn one phrase. You speak one new sentence. That's your 1%. You've already improved. Tomorrow, you repeat. Slowly, your mind will open. Your confidence will rise. And one day, without realizing it, you'll speak with ease. I remember a friend who started learning English later in life. She was shy and felt behind, but she didn't give up. She followed the 1% rule. She said, I can't learn everything, but I can learn something. Every day, she took a small step. 2 years later, she was giving talks, writing emails, even teaching others. Not because she was fast, but because she was steady. You can do this too. Even if you're tired, even if you're busy, even if you think you're too slow. You are not too slow. You're growing. You're on the path. And every step matters. Start today. Say one English sentence. Write a short note. Watch a short video. Read one small paragraph. That's your 1%. Do it again tomorrow, and again the next day. That's how true learners grow quietly, consistently with strength. So promise yourself this: when you feel weak, do one small thing. When you feel strong, do one small thing. No matter how you feel, do one thing. That is your power. That is your path. You don't need to change your whole life in a day. You just need to walk forward, slowly, gently, every day, 1% better than yesterday. Chapter 14. Build your own learning system. No more confusion. There was a time when I didn't know how to study English. I had the motivation. I was ready to work, but I was lost. Every day, I found different advice. One video said to focus on grammar. Another said just listen. One teacher said write more. Another said speaking is most important. My head was full of noise. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a system. I just jumped from one thing to another, and I felt tired. I was busy, but I wasn't making progress. It felt like I was running in circles. That's when I learned something important. If I wanted to improve, I needed a simple plan. I needed my own learning system. A system doesn't have to be big or complicated. It's just a daily routine that fits your life. It's like a roadmap for your brain. Without it, you feel lost. You waste time. You stop. But with it, everything feels clear. You know what to do each day. And that brings peace, progress, and power. I started with a very simple system. In the morning, I listened to English for 10 minutes, a podcast, or a short story while brushing my teeth or eating breakfast. I didn't try to understand everything. I just let the sounds enter my ears. In the afternoon, I read a short paragraph, just a few easy sentences. I used my finger to follow the words. If I didn't know a word, I wrote it down, but I didn't stop reading. I kept going. In the evening, I spoke one sentence aloud in the mirror. Something simple like, "Today was a good day," or "I ate rice for lunch." It was small, but it was mine. This system wasn't perfect, but it worked. It was small and easy. That meant I could do it even when I was tired or busy. And that's what made it powerful. It didn't stress me. It supported me. Many people try to learn without a system. One day they watch a video. The next day they read a hard book. Then they stop. Then they try grammar for a week. Then they get frustrated. They don't know what to do next. So they feel tired. Then they quit. But with a simple system, everything becomes easier. You don't have to wonder, what should I do today? You already know. You just follow your steps. And step by step, you move forward. Your system doesn't have to look like mine. Maybe you work early. Maybe night is better for you. That's fine. Build a system that fits your life. Make it clear and easy. Write it down. Something like, listen to English for 10 minutes. Read one short paragraph. Speak one sentence aloud. That's all. That's enough. Choose tools that match your style. If you like stories, use stories. If you love music, use songs. If you enjoy apps, choose a good one. But don't use too many things. Choose one or two tools. Use them again and again. Repetition is your friend. It makes your brain stronger. You don't need new tools every day. You just need to use the same tools better and better. Another key part of your system is review. Learning something once is not enough. You must see it again and again. That's how your memory grows strong. Each week, review your old words. Say old sentences again. Watch the same videos again. You will understand more. You will feel proud. That's the power of review. Also track your progress. Use a simple calendar or notebook. Every day, make a small mark when you study, a check mark, a smiley face, a star. It feels good. You can look back and say, I did it. That small joy keeps you going. Remember, your system is not about being perfect. It's about being steady. If you miss a day, that's okay. If you feel lazy, that's okay too. Just come back. Your system will be waiting. Like a soft light in the dark, it will guide you home. You are the driver. Your system is the road. Your goal is the destination. And every small step takes you closer. You don't need to rush. You don't need to compare. You just need to walk your own path slowly, clearly, daily. So today, ask yourself, do I have a system? If not, that's okay. Now is the perfect time to build one. Start small. Keep it simple. Follow it every day. Even 10 minutes can change your life. One day, your future self will thank you. Chapter 15. Become the person who never falls behind again. There was a time when I always felt like I was behind. Behind in school, behind in learning English, behind in life. I looked at other people, and they seemed to move so fast. They were speaking well, understanding everything, improving every day. And I stood still. It felt like I was on a long road and everyone else was running far ahead. I tried to catch them. I tried to copy what they were doing. But the more I chased others, the more tired I became. I felt small, slow, and weak. I started thinking, maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I'll always be behind. Maybe success is only for other people, not for me. But something inside me shifted. One day, I stopped looking at others. I turned my eyes back to myself. I asked one simple question. What can I do today to grow? I didn't ask what others were doing, how fast they were moving, or how far they had gone. I focused on just me, just today, just one small step. That question changed everything. It gave me peace. It gave me control. It gave me strength. You see, being behind is not about being slow. It's not about your level or your speed. Falling behind only happens when you stop. It happens when you quit. But if you keep going, even slowly, even quietly, you are not behind. You are moving. You are growing. And that is what matters. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to continue. Even when it's difficult. Even when no one notices. Even when you feel invisible. The person who never falls behind is not the fastest person in the room. It's the one who doesn't give up. It's the one who keeps walking forward no matter what. They study when they are tired. They speak even if they're afraid. They listen even when they don't understand. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They show up for themselves every single day. Every day is a new chance to become that kind of person. The one who learns just one word. The one who finishes a tiny task. The one who says, I won't give up today. That kind of person becomes strong, not with loud success, but with quiet, steady effort. They build a strength that lasts. I remember a boy from my old class. He wasn't the top student. He wasn't the fastest learner. He made many mistakes. People laughed at his accent, but he smiled. He listened carefully. He asked questions. Every night he studied for 1 hour. He never missed a day. Others joked. Others skipped practice. But he kept going. And 3 years later, he stood on a stage and gave a full speech in English. People clapped and said, "Wow, you speak so well." But they didn't see the quiet work. They didn't see the small steps. They didn't see the nights he studied alone. That is the kind of person who never falls behind. You can become that person too. You don't need luck. You don't need talent. You don't need to know everything today. You just need to keep learning one day at a time. One word, one line, one little moment of effort. That's all it takes to move forward. Many learners feel frustrated. They ask, why am I still not fluent? But fluency is not a finish line. It's not something you reach one day and then stop. It's a path you walk. Some days are smooth, some days are slow. But if you keep walking, you're not stuck. You're not behind. You're actually ahead of the person who didn't try today, ahead of the person who gave up yesterday, and ahead of the old version of yourself. So how do you become that kind of learner? First, believe in small actions. Reading one paragraph, saying one simple sentence, listening for 10 minutes, these things build your brain, your confidence, and your future. Second, forgive yourself when you miss a day. Don't quit. Just come back the next day. Start again. That's how you keep your progress safe. Third, stop comparing. Your journey is yours alone. Your speed is your own. Walk your path with pride. It also helps to track your progress. Write down your learning. Keep a simple journal. Maybe write today. I understood one new video, or I spoke my first full English sentence today. These small victories are powerful. They prove that you are growing. They show that you are winning step by step. And the most powerful thing of all, build your identity. Stop saying I'm trying to learn English. Start saying I am a learner. Not maybe I can, not I hope to, but this is who I am now. I am someone who learns. I am someone who grows. I am someone who keeps going. That belief becomes your foundation. On days when motivation is low, this belief holds you up. On days when you want to quit, this belief gives you strength. You are not falling behind. You are becoming someone new. You are not stuck. You are moving. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. You don't need to rush. You just need to keep walking slowly, honestly, and gently. From this moment on, don't think of yourself as someone who is trying to learn. Think of yourself as someone who never stops learning. That is your superpower. That is your new identity. You are the person who never falls behind again. Chapter 16, The Forever Student. Stay ahead for life. You've reached the final chapter of this journey. But in truth, it's not really the end. It's the beginning of something much greater. You've come a long way farther than you might realize. You've listened deeply. You've learned honestly. And most importantly, you've opened your heart to grow. You are not the same person who pressed play at the start. Something in you has shifted. You've started to see learning in a new way. You are not just studying English anymore. You are learning how to grow, how to adapt, how to take small steps toward a better version of yourself. That right there is the greatest skill of all. Many people think that learning ends when school ends. They believe that once they graduate, they already know enough. But the truth is, the world doesn't pause. It keeps moving forward. New ideas are born. New challenges appear. New knowledge is needed. And the people who stop learning slowly and quietly begin to fall behind. They start to feel stuck. They feel lost, not because they aren't smart, but because they've stopped growing. Meanwhile, those who keep learning, no matter their age or background, stay sharp, stay free, stay strong. That is why I want to encourage you to become a forever student. Not just someone who learns for tests or school, but someone who learns for life. Being a forever student means being curious every day. It means waking up and asking yourself, what can I discover today? It means reading something new, listening closely, thinking deeply, and practicing even when no one is watching. It means choosing to learn because you want to, not because someone tells you to. And yes, it won't always feel easy. Some days you'll be tired. Some days your progress will feel slow. But if you stay connected to your purpose, you will keep going. When you become a forever student, you give yourself a powerful gift. You give yourself a life that keeps opening new paths, new ideas, new dreams. You will never feel too old. You will never feel truly stuck, because learning keeps your heart young and your mind alive. Even now, after many years of speaking English, I still learn every single day. I read new books. I listen to new voices. I watch new lessons. I've accepted that I will never know everything, and that's okay. I don't need to be perfect. I only need to keep learning. That's what makes me feel alive. That's what keeps me moving forward. and it will do the same for you. Maybe you still have doubts. Maybe you think you're not fast enough or not smart enough. But let me tell you this clearly, you are enough. Right now, just as you are learning. You are showing up. You are trying. That is what matters. That is powerful. So from today on, I invite you to wear a new name with pride, Forever Student. Let it become part of how you see yourself. Let it guide you when you feel confused or tired. Let it remind you that you are on a journey, and this journey is worth walking. A forever student isn't afraid of mistakes. A forever student knows that slow days are part of the path. A forever student understands that real learning is not a race. It's a lifetime adventure. And maybe one day, you will help someone else start their learning journey. Maybe you will tell your story the way I told mine. Maybe you will give another person hope when they feel like giving up. That is the beautiful thing about learning. It doesn't stop with you. It flows through you into others. It creates a ripple, a quiet inspiration that moves from one heart to another. So wherever you are, no matter your age, no matter how busy or tired you feel, choose to learn something today. Choose to keep moving. You don't need to know everything. You just need to keep growing. That's how you stay ahead in life. That's how you stay connected to yourself and to the world. I hope you feel proud. I hope you can look back and see every small step you've taken. You stayed until the end. You kept going. And now your new beginning is here. The door is open. The road is waiting. Go explore it. Go grow in it. Go live it fully. And remember, this journey doesn't stop here. It's only just begun. You are no longer a person who is trying to learn. You are a forever student now, and that will take you further than you ever imagined. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I hope this journey helped you feel more confident, more inspired, and more connected to your dream. You are not just learning English, you are growing into a stronger version of yourself every single day. If this video touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Tell me, what did you learn? What part spoke to you the most? I truly want to hear your story. And if you're ready to keep growing, to stay curious, to become a forever student, then like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with someone who needs a little encouragement today. Because the world needs more learners. The world needs more people like you. Your journey is just beginning, and I'll see you in the next chapter.